Hi there, it's Lori here, and I'm here to show you the completed December daily for 2014. It took me a long time. It ended up becoming pretty large, and but I enjoyed it. And thanks to Victoria Marie on her Facebook page, we had a challenge, and I was able to complete, not in time for the end of the challenge, but a couple of, I don't know, a little while later. It was due the end of October, and I finished it a few days ago. So this, the cover, actually I've shown before, but the reason I chose this little sticker, it was in my mom's stash I found after she died, and she died at December of 2013. So this was kind of our first December, after she died. Not really our first December, our first Christmas after she died, but our first December after she died. So I just wanted her presence to be felt as it was in our hearts during the month. So we had a kind of a difficult month, which might explain why I didn't finish. So but anyway, here's day one. We trimmed our first tree. And day one, this is just an embossing folder that I've had that was actually my mom's. And this is our living room tree. And so we had started it. This is our beachy tree. So, yeah, so this one is more of a beach theme. And then day two, I got sick. So this is my day in bed with my dogs. I read a great book and ended up buying that book for my daughter for Christmas present because it was so good. Day three, I had no energy, so I watched a lot of TV and movies and drank some gingerbread tea, which I love at Christmas. And this was my only little contribution to decorations, was a skirt on an open wine bottle and an advent calendar of chocolate that I got at Fresh Market. Day four, I participated as much as I could, but did not do a ton of the work in decorating our library tree, which is our vintage toy tree, and it's our darker tree. So it's mostly greens and browns and golds, and this is some of our antique toys and a little bit of journaling there. I'm going to tell you what I used as I go along, I guess, but I used some Stampin' Up papers from old collections. This is one. It was a double-sided craft paper. I used some crepe paper. I think it was called Sleigh Ride. I used, these came from Michael's. I used a die cuts with a view paper pad, which you'll see, but so a lot of different things. Day five, I was feeling well enough to go to my daughter's. It was her first Christmas in her new home in New Orleans, and so my best friend and I went to help her decorate her tree. It was her first, she called her first big girl tree. So she made a lot of the ornaments herself, we made the burlap bows that night. She made paper garland. It's hard to see. But it was just a beautiful tree, a live tree, a big live tree that we had to cover with a lot of stuff, and we had a ball. And she fed us dinner, so that's nice. Day six was my granddaughter's Christmas parade where she lives, and she got to dance with the big girls on the street in the parade with her dance team. And that was just really exciting for her. And of course, we saw Santa, and then we took her later to see Santa at one of the stores that we shopped at, and just played around while her mommy and daddy did some shopping and things they needed to do. Day seven is another double page spread. Some are doubles, some are singles, obviously. Day seven, we went to the library tree gala, and it's hard to see, but this was our favorite tree. It was made out of books. I don't know if you can see that. It was a great tree. I would love to do that in my library, but yeah, that's a lot. But anyway, I could do it really easily. But anyway, I might do it this year. It would be a little less decorating, maybe. And then I made these starfish out of burlap and stuffed them and sewed them on the machine to make for our wreaths, which you'll see in a little bit. So this was day seven, and we decorated the white tree. We call the white tree. That's the soft, more kind of romantic tree and I don't know, they're all my favorite for different reasons. Day 8, I made Christmas cards. This was our design last year, and I spent the day stamping, a good part of the day stamping those cards. Day 9, I took off for DC, so I just sort of said what was good about having to go away December 9th for a trip for work. And I always get selfies of my golden retriever when I travel, so this was my Winifred selfie. And this was a Starbucks sticker card that I ended up forgetting about in my purse till after Christmas, and so I didn't get the free drink from this, but I got other free drinks, so I wasn't worried. December 10th, day 10, this was the view from my hotel room. It was a craft street market for craftsmen, and this was the tree in my hotel, which was just lovely. It's a beautiful hotel. I always stay at the same place, and it's beautiful. So, and then this was December 11th. My volunteer and I went to Starbucks a lot while we were there. I got the great gift cards, which I couldn't find for a while, but finally located. And then these are the trees at our national office. For those of you who don't know, I work at AARP, Mississippi. So I was at the AARP national office on E Street in Washington, D.C., and there are several trees. They're very, very large and really pretty. This day was sad, and I put a shoulder to cry on and be the best version of you, because we found out on this day that my father-in-law did not have more than about 6 months to live. And indeed, he passed away in February, in mid-February. So this was our first day of realization that it would be our last Christmas with him, which was really, really hard. So coming back, I may have to fix that up a little bit. Coming back, we put the wreaths up on the windows, and we had the house painted, so that's why I had to redo the wreaths this year. We painted the house kind of a beachy color and a sandy color on the outside of the house, and then the shutters are this color, and so we just could not use the maroon wreaths like we had them last year, so that's why I had to do that. And these are some of our Christmas cards that we received on the counter, and then this one I deconstructed. It was watercolored by a friend of ours, and she made it in, she was recovering at that time also from leukemia. So it was one of our favorite cards, and indeed, we lost her this year as well. So, so that was our last Christmas card from our friend Mary Kay. December 14th, I didn't have any pictures, so I just showed you reminded us what we were listening to. It was a brand new album for us. It was great. What I was drinking, more peppermint tea and the house blends of the Starbucks coffees I love. This was my first day of wrapping, and my cat was getting in the way of my progress with my December daily, which I didn't get a lot done, so it was not his fault, but I did start wrapping that day. And then this day, the 16th, I just wanted to sort of remember that we spent a lot of time watching the Create Christmas light fight, which was a lot of fun, and I don't know that I would ever go all out like that for decorating our house, but it was great fun. And I didn't say too, we watched on this page, we watched the Holiday Baking Championship too, which was quite fun as well. So we had a couple of shows we looked forward to throughout the month. This was a party I had for Business Professional Women organization that I am a part of, and I was in charge of decorating the candy table, which, as you can see, was plentiful. And this was one of the decorations on my table, and so that was a fun day. So more sadness. We actually came home on the 18th and discovered that our 14-and-a-half-year-old yellow lab was really, really not going to make it another day. Now he had been sick too, on and off since September, and was failing every day, and we just took every day as a gift. But on the 18th, we came home and knew that we could not suffer like this anymore with watching him suffer. So we called our vet, and he came to the house. And so this was our very first picture with our Sebastian. when he was a puppy, and this was one of him and I a while ago when my daughter graduated from high school, so probably 2001. And then this was our last day with him. So, yeah, I can't even talk about it. So, the 19th, our nephew graduated from college. Here's a picture of him with his mama. And I got a gift from my cousin, which I loved. It was a little cup that said 3 wise women. Now that makes sense. So, I journaled about how grateful I am for my family. On the 20th, we do we do pictures with our pets at the tree every year. And I did not get one this year of Charlotte because she was really grieving over the loss of Sebastian. And so, but Winifred did take a picture in front of the tree. And this was one of my favorite of the chipboard stickers from Crate Paper. I love it. I think that was Crate Paper. I need to be sure, huh? I'll put a link in below if I can't. If I'm not right, I'll put a link to who it is. So this was the whole 20th was 2 pages. I took my daughter to the airport this day to go visit her dad. Her plane was 4.5 hours late, so we were in the airport for a long time. So this was a picture of the tree at the airport, and her and I in front of the tree, which we have been doing a picture of ourselves in front of the tree for a couple years. But she went for just a couple days to be with her dad. The 21st, and I probably need to color these. I do not love these stickers, you guys. I really don't. They're on the front too, and then this is another version, and I just don't love them. But anyway, I was wrapping today with mimosas, which always makes wrapping better. And then my friend gave me some pig stuff for Christmas because he always does. And then this was my favorite book that we found for my granddaughter as a gift, so we wrapped that today. The 22nd, we went and delivered presents to the families we adopted at the women's shelter. And we went and had sugar plum martinis with gumdrops and at Outback. And if you've never had one, they're fantastic. The 23rd, I woke up to a fresh pot of coffee and some extra coffees that I love. And nobody makes me coffee very often. So I got a little note too. So that was a nice way to wake up. I was very delighted by that. And then this is a 2-page spread too. I made cookies for our family Christmas. And these are my favorite nuts that I stocked up on. And this is another picture of Winnie in front of the tree that came out kind of weird, blurry, but nice. I did not take pictures of our family Christmas with my father-in-law, and I think somebody did, but I did not, and I feel bad about that. But he was very, very sick that night, so. This is Christmas Eve. I did my nails, which actually, that's the same color I have on now, so that's pretty funny. And we got another bunch of presents donated for the shelter, so one of the shelter employees came and got them. And I baked my favorite pie that my grandma always made, and we had a lovely dinner. Christmas Eve is a lot of pages because it's Christmas Eve. So this is my favorite version of the Christmas story. It's the one that Linus recites in A Charlie Brown Christmas, and this was the nativity out front of the church that we went to on Christmas Eve. And some journaling about how we spent the evening. Then Christmas Day, I had so many pictures that I just did a small grid style. So some of the presents we opened, my cat in the window. We went to see Into the Woods. We went to see the decorations at one of the casinos, which are always beautiful. And we had dinner at Bubba Gump's Shrimp because there aren't a lot of places open on Christmas Day, but the casinos always are. And so this was our view, not too shabby, huh? From the casino dock or deck area when we were leaving the casino. So that was fun. Day after Christmas, my daughter came home, and this is a picture of my father-in-law and his grandson and his family came to visit him that day, so that was good. I do have another bunch of pictures with him because we did family with his siblings. You'll see in just a second. And then I started baking for family Christmas with his siblings and my kids. Some of them were out of town for Christmas. So we did Christmas with the kids later, which I'll show you in a minute, which was a little bit crazy because we were supposed to do it on 3 different occasions and my son had to work. He actually had to work New Year's Day, which was our last hope, and then we ended up doing it January 4th, so you'll see. But anyway, so I was baking cookies, and I was sick again. So these are all my antibiotics. I'm telling you, I was sick most of the month of December, which did not help getting this done. So here's the Christmas with my father-in-law and his siblings and a bunch of the cousins and his girls, and you know, this was really a better day for him physically, so he was able to take pictures and enjoy it. This is just a little journaling on the 29th about New Year's, what I call New Year's intentions, and how that look back process happens for me and how I think about what I want to do in the coming year. Did some shopping on the 30th, got a Heidi Swap planner at a bargain price at Michael's, and also found a Wonder Woman thumb drive that my partner had asked for and we had looked for and never could find, but we finally found it on this day. And then here's New Year's Eve. I was hunting like a nut for a recipe of my mom's, which my recipes are in horrible shape. My cousin found it, sent it to me via text, and there's our picture right before midnight. We struggled to stay awake, and that's a horrible picture, but it is what it is. January 1st was all about food. I did make the German potato salad. We had cinnamon rolls. And then our last day, actually, of the December daily is January 4th, because that was the day we celebrated with all the kids together. So these, I decided, were the best ways, and I probably just need to glue those down better. The best way of capturing our time together. So that was just an example of us opening presents and eating and doing whatever. And then this was kind of the wrap up to the year. I did decide to do one this year. Oh, and I did a couple outtakes. This was my present from my daughter. It's a Princess Leia cinnamon bun hair robe, and you can't even see me, so that was an outtake. This was an outtake because you couldn't see my son or my granddaughter's best friend's face as they were in the parade. This is not really an outtake, but I didn't use it anywhere else, so I put it there. And then I just added this. I've had this forever from a class I took at a scrapbook store that's no longer in business, and it just seemed to kind of sum up what I wanted to say, so I signed it, and that is it. So, thank you so much. Again, I used, these are some Stampin' Up ribbons I used. I used the Die Cuts with a View collection that I got at Michael's last year. There is no name on it. I'm pretty sure the stickers were crepe paper. In fact, maybe I can tell. I'm sure they were. I do have several left, but this is what it looks like all together. I got it at Tuesday morning. I don't know if they still have them, but I did get it at Tuesday morning, way after. But most of this was Stampin' Up paper, the Die Cuts with a View collection, and Thickers brand Thickers, and just a few other things that I had in my stash here and there. Oh, and the Becky Higgins Holiday Project Life edition too. I used the die cuts from that, and some of these, not this one, but some of these inserts are from that. These 3x4 cards are from that collection. So there are some other things. I think this is 7 Gypsies, but so there are some other things here and there, but I used 2 Becky Higgins Project Life collections as well as the Stampin' Up, and you can see it's so thick, it's hard to keep it all together, but we are going to display it every year. I'm going to do another one this year. I was thinking about doing a Project Life version this year because it's easier to keep up with, but I liked designing it every day, and I just kind of like the way this looks too, so I might do both. I'm not certain yet. I have a little bit of time to decide. So I have some of these papers left. I have some new papers. So, we'll just kind of see how that goes. The size is 8 by 10, and I like that size because it allows me to have a pretty good piece of real estate to put several pictures on. I do take a lot of pictures always, but I definitely take a lot of pictures in December. So it let me capture what I wanted on these pages, and I enjoyed doing it. So thanks again, Victoria Marie, for challenging me. I didn't make the deadline, but I did finish, and for that I am so grateful. And thanks to all of you for your encouragement. And if you haven't already, I know I don't post a lot, but I will be in the coming year for sure. So, because I had some technological problems with making the videos, and you can see my camera shakes every time I touch the table. So I still have some ways to go, but I am going to be posting more process videos and share videos. So if you would subscribe, like this if you like it, share your December daily and link it to me if you would, so I can take a look. And as always, thanks to this entire community for your inspiration and support. You make my life so much richer. Thanks so much, and happy holidays. Bye-bye.